Okay.
All right. Late night from Willowdale, but not really from Willowdale, from Forest Hills, but it doesn't matter. We haven't done a video in a while, so lots to talk about, but I want to keep this down to 5-6 minutes. And we did a couple of videos before and we erased them because I was getting rambling on, and okay, so let's talk first about Donald Trump and the chaos in the American presidency. I don't know why anyone is surprised why Donald Trump doesn't want to denounce Ku Klux Klan, Nazis, white supremacists, whatever. Because Donald Trump is one of them. He's part of them. His whole life, his father's life, has all been about racism. His dad used to march in KKK rallies. They used to deny, Donald Trump and his father would always deny applications for rental units to black people. Donald Trump has a history of racism. He based his campaign on racism, going after Latinos, going after Mexicans, going after Muslims. So why are people surprised that he supports the KKK or the white supremacists Donald Trump's, these are people who supported him. These are the basket of deplorables that Hillary Clinton so eloquently talked about. They are a basket of deplorables. And a poll came out today showing 34% of Americans support Donald Trump's comments on Charlottesville. So Donald Trump's base is secure, and one thing you got to hand out to Donald Trump the other day when he had that news conference in Trump Tower, he's just being honest. He likes a lot of those people in the white supremacist movement, and he was, to his credit, there was violence. I watched the whole thing unfold on CNN on Saturday. Yeah, there was violence on both sides. There are a lot of people. There was violence on both sides. It's just that the violence was. The bottom line is, yes, there were lots of people throwing stuff at the white supremacists and everything, and I think, why not? Good for you. The violence perpetrated against the white supremacists, I have nothing against, really. There was guys throwing newspaper boxes and all that, but you can't equate the two, and let's not even go there because there's too much debate about that. Yeah, a little violence perpetrated against white supremacists and Nazis. Why not? Didn't we fight we fought a whole war about this, like we fought the Second World War was all about this. So yeah, a little minor violence perpetrated against Nazis and white supremacists. Yeah, why not? But Donald Trump is right. Violence was portrayed on both sides. He was right there, but it's just, anyways, let's not go there. The bottom line is Donald Trump is a racist. The Americans have a president who's a racist in the Oval Office, okay? He doesn't give a damn about minorities. He doesn't give a damn about anything. Donald Trump never expected to win the presidency of the United States, okay? It was a game and a joke to him as part of reality television. He bested a Republican field that was as nutty, racist, and as intolerant as he was, and he never expected to get the Republican nomination. He beat Hillary Clinton because he appealed to the dark side of American society. He appealed to white working class people who are basically racist, who's lost their jobs, who their jobs are not coming back, and he appealed to their economic anxieties. He appealed to their sort of cultural white identity, and it worked for him. It took him over the top, okay? Hillary won the popular vote. Most people in the United States subscribe to Hillary's view of the world, but no, because of the way the quirky electoral college works, he won the presidency of the United States. He did appeal to the basket of deplorables, and they are deplorable. They're not very bright, these people, and these are the kind of people that put white hoods on. And I don't want to totally stereotype here, but there's when these people are interviewed, you can tell. And these people are going to go to Phoenix next week and still rally around Donald Trump. There's 34%, as I said, 34% of Americans supported the way he handled the Charlottesville thing. So it goes to show you, his support base is secure. The bottom line is the presidency is in chaos. The world is a messy place. We saw what happened in Barcelona today, and I don't like to use the words terrorism because they don't use it for what happened in Charlottesville. A lot of people hesitant to use that because terrorism is not committed by white people. Terrorism is generally committed, is always
Excuse me.
That's okay. A little sneeze is good. Terrorism is committed by, for most people, terrorism is only committed by Muslims and brown people. Terrorism is never committed by white people. Oklahoma City? No, that's not terrorism. What happened in Charlottesville? That's not terrorism. No. Terrorism is only committed by Muslims and brown people. And what happened in Barcelona, everyone's immediately saying, oh, that's terrorism. Because, that's probably committed by a brown person. So anyways, I'm not going to ramble. I want to keep this video short. Donald Trump is the most ignorant president in recent times. They say James Buchanan was the worst American president. Donald Trump is up for that award. Donald Trump is he has no knowledge of history, particularly Civil War history, and he has no knowledge of world history or anything. He knows nothing about the planet Earth. This is visually demonstrated a month or so ago when he was with the Lebanese Prime Minister, and he was going on and on about Hezbollah and how the Lebanese are helping us smash Hezbollah, and the Lebanese Prime Minister sat there stoically thinking, okay, because Hezbollah is a big part of Lebanese government. It's a big part of Lebanese political framework, and Donald Trump, of course, knows nothing about this. His advisors obviously know nothing about this. And, Hezbollah is part of the Lebanese government, and Hezbollah is fighting ISIS and fighting all the people we want them to fight. But Donald Trump knew nothing about this. He says, oh, yeah, the Lebanese government is helping us smash Hezbollah, not realizing that a good chunk of the Lebanese government is made up of Hezbollah. So that showed me the ignorance of this administration. That just said it all. He knows nothing about the world, and he's the most ignorant and vacuous president ever. Okay, so let's shift over from... the biggest crisis in the world today is not North Korea, even though, God, Kim Jong-un is totally stable and smart compared to Donald Trump. Bring us Kim Jong-un. Bring Kim Jong-un to the White House. Fuck. The biggest crisis in the world is not North Korea. It's not Syria. It's not ISIS. It's the presidency of Donald Trump. The Americans control a lot of military power, tons of nuclear weapons, and the biggest crisis in the world today is the presidency of Donald Trump. And where this will go, who knows? This video I want to keep short because I've done it a couple times. But that brings us to Canada. How does Canada deal with this? First of all, I got to strike back. Some of these things going on in the world are easily solved. Afghanistan, if the Americans were smart, they bring in Iran, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, the Russians. They could negotiate an Afghan deal where the Taliban would probably come to power, but they could negotiate a deal which end American involvement in Afghanistan, but they have to bring in all the regional powers: India, Iran, Pakistan, Russia. They could do it. North Korea, you bring in all the regional powers: China, South Korea, Japan, Russia. You could probably strike a deal with North Korea. It just takes some will to do this negotiation. Okay, let's get to Afghanistan. Let's get to Canada. Canada has a thin needle to thread through the Trump administration. We've done it well so far. The NAFTA talks are going to be rocky and nasty, but as long as Canada expresses expressing we're open to trade, we're open to trade agreements, we're open to the world, we're good. And yes, Canada should reinvigorate the TPP. We have the trade agreement with Europe, and if NAFTA doesn't work out, we can walk away. We can strike our own deal with the Mexicans. The Americans need Canada, and the American business community knows that. Canada has a lot of power here, so Canada can strike its own deal with the world. People need what Canada has to offer. So, and on immigration, I'm happy to see thousands of people cross the Quebec border from the U.S. If they need refuge here, why not? Canada needs immigration, And if people are fleeing the terror of Donald Trump, why not? And that's another example of the world that Canada is open to the planet, open to immigration, open to refugee settlement. And that's a good thing. But Canada has dark and sinister forces too. There's this whole debate about having a Muslim cemetery in Quebec City, the attack on the mosque in Quebec City, and of course this massive vitriolic opposition to the settlement given to Omar Khadr. That says something about the sinister and dark forces of Canadian life too. Khadr deserved that settlement. He was treated so unjustly. His rights were violated. Let's not even go there. The Trudeau government did the right thing in that, but the opposition to it and basically racism shows you that there are dark and sinister forces in Canada too. So we're not a perfect place.
Yay!
So, yeah, yay! We're not a perfect place, and there's still all this stuff going on with Indigenous peoples, and these inquiries are going nowhere. And I'm not going to go there. I just wanted to, yeah, that's it. That's the video I wanted to do. Canada's not a perfect place. We have to react to the Trump administration, and in terms of refugee and immigration, we're doing a good job. But Canada is not a perfect place, and a lot of racism here too. But nothing compared to the United States. And Canada can take a leadership role in the world, but it's a small country; it can only do so much. Trudeau should team up with Angela Merkel and other like-minded intellectuals and who believe in a better place. The U.S. is going to become a much more isolated country, despite its power and its wealth. It's going to become much more isolated. And but as I said, Trump comes out. This stuff on Charlottesville doesn't just come out of. That's going on for a long time, and the Republican Party has been a racist party for a long time. A lot of this stuff has been going on for a long time, and Trump is the Frankenstein of the Republican Party. Okay, he brought it out into the open: racism, hatred towards minorities. He brought it out into the open. Now the Republican Party and the American people have to deal with it. And yes, it all starts with the Southern strategy of the late 1960s, and Nixon really capitalized on that, trying to, basically a racist strategy of playing to people's fears and supporting a white America. And now it's now all come home, and the victory of Trump was a reaction to 8 years of an African American president. So many Americans were angry at that, and they had their victory with Trump. And they were
5 minutes.
Yeah, and they weren't really. Let's face it. A lot of Americans were not ready to accept a woman as president. Okay, I've often believed that it'd be hard.
Yeah, we know that.
Yes, and Hillary was the Clintons were kind of sleazy, but and they didn't run a great campaign. But come on, would you rather have Hillary in power or Trump in power? But most Americans were not willing to accept Hillary as president. A good chunk of them. I mean, she won the popular vote, but a good chunk of them. The people who supported Trump hate women too. They're misogynists, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. But the United States is a dangerous place, and there's all these racial hatreds, hatred against women, hatreds against gay people, and Trump comes.
Canada is kind of the same.
Canada has its problems. But
well, I mean, there's a few articles in the newspaper that talk about basically a lot of polls taken of Canadians who share some racist sentiment.
Absolutely, we saw that with the Omar Khadr verdict.
Right.
Oh, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're rambling on here. This is turning to be a rambly video. I didn't want it to be, but the United States is the biggest international crisis in the world today. Is the United States, and yes, it has become a dangerous place, and there's a lot of nastiness going on down there. And geez, I don't even know if this video has gone on and on again.
Well, we got 5 minutes.
Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to ramble. All right, Clay, let's end it there.
Let's end it there. Okay.